Hello viewers, welcome to English with BDM. In this compact and comprehensive chart, I have presented the structures of different tenses in combination with voice. But before getting into the main task, let us understand the meanings of different abbreviations that I have used in the chart. Number one, S. The letter S stands for subject. The letter R stands for recipient or the original object of a transitive verb. Interestingly, this original object is also called a patient in grammar. The term is very well known. In a particular sense, it means a person who is undergoing some treatment for some physical or mental problem. It's called a patient. It is also used as an adjective to mean having patience, that is endurance, who can wait for something patiently without being mentally disturbed. But in grammar, this word also means the original object of a transitive verb, because it is directly affected by the action of the verb. The young man rescued the child from the canal. The young man rescued the child from the canal. The action of rescuing was performed on the child, and so the effect was positive. But when you say the child broke the doll, the effect is negative. Whether negative or positive, the object is affected, directly affected by the action of the verb. So, in grammar, it is also called a patient. The letter D stands for doer, that is the agent or the performer of the action of the verb. PP stands for the past participle, and PRP stands for present participle. Past participle and present participle. The three letters together, BCS, stands for Basic Common Structure. Basic Common Structure. Now, let us have a brief recap of voice, the basic rules of voice and tense calculation. We know that tense is a combination of time and aspect. We have got 3 times, present, past and future, and 4 aspects: simple, continuous or progressive, perfect and perfect continuous. And we know that when the subject is the doer, the voice is active. Subject, doer, active voice. Subject, doer, active voice. And when the recipient, that is the patient, is the subject of the sentence, the voice is passive. Recipient, subject, passive voice. Recipient, subject, passive voice. This basic common structure is used in all the 3 times, present, past and future. The helping verb, and where there are 2 helping verbs, the first one changes, and where there is one, it changes its own forms. Amager is no different helping verb. It is be, different forms of be. So, we use this basic common structure in all the times, present, past and future. Only the helping verb, rather the first helping verb, changes its own forms. It takes different forms for different times. For example, be takes the forms amage and are in the present, was and were in the past, and we add shall or will to the basic common structure for the future. So, for the future time, we do not change the basic common structure. The be past participle remains the same, be past participle. We simply add shall or will to it And this same thing happens throughout the present time. This row is for future time. This one is for past time and this one is for present time. Only the helping verb changes its forms, rather takes its own forms, different forms in present and past time. Present and past time. Have takes the form have and has. In the present, had in the past. And in the future, we do not change. We need not to change. We cannot change the form. It remains as it is. Simply we add shall or will to it to use it in the future time. Now, notice that in all these voice tense combinations, we have helping verbs. Sometimes, at some places one, at some voice tense combinations two, and in these two, that is future perfect tense passive voice and future perfect continuous tense active voice, we have three helping verbs: shall, have, been, will, have, and been. But in these two voice tense combinations, that is the present simple and past simple active voice, in the original structure, we don't have any helping verb. Subject do or present form, subject do or present form with s or es, you know, for third person singular number subject, and in the past tense, the past form. And we use these three structures, the original main structures, in most of the sentences to describe things, to narrate past events, etc. We always use this main structure, the original structure, that is subject do or present form, subject do or present form with s or es, and subject do or past form. And so, in these two voice tense combinations only, we have these alternative structures. Do present form for present form, does present form for present form with s or es, and did present form for past form. We need this helping verb do to perform some special functions which can be performed by these helping verbs. These are all essential helping verbs. We must use the helping verbs whether the sentence is a positive one, whether it is a negative one, whether it is a question. We cannot omit any helping verb from any of the boxes, from any voice tense combination. Where there is have and been, the been must be retained, the past participle must be retained. Only the have changes its own forms. It takes its own forms, have and has and had. We cannot drop them, we cannot replace them with any other helping verb. So, this function, that is to make negative sentences, to make questions, are performed by all these helping verbs, by using these helping verbs, and those functions are performed with the help of these alternative structures. I will discuss in the next video how we can make the negative and sentences and questions. Now, notice that this helping verb do, that is do, does, and did. Do is a standby helping verb. All other helping verbs are essential parts of the structure. We cannot make the present continuous tense active voice without a measure. Without a measure. We cannot make the passive voice without be, that is a measure, was, were, etc. So these are all essential helping verbs that I have put here in the basic common structure. If the tense and voice is the same, the helping verb must be there. For example, this box is meant for past perfect passive voice, past perfect passive voice. And so when our tense is past perfect and voice is passive, we must use only this form, because in the past the helping verb has only one form, that is had been past participle. We must use it. So these are all, that is be, have, and shall, will, are essential to form particular voice tense structures, but the helping verb do is not a part of the basic structure. Do is not a part of the original structure, the main structure, the three structures, two for present and one for past. Do is thus a standby helping verb. It is not used in normal sentences. When you speak on a topic or engage in a conversation, we usually use this form, the main structures. When you describe something, we do not usually make negative sentences. We do not ask questions when you write an answer in the exam. So, this do is not a part of the original structures of these two voice tense combinations, that is, the present simple and the past simple active voice. Do, that is, do, does, and did. Do is used only for special purposes. As I told you, to make negative sentences, to make questions, and for a third purpose that I will discuss in the next video. So you can make as many sentences as you like by using this chart, that is the structures, as I have placed here in this compact and comprehensive chart. I have put the subject first to indicate that, to remind you that, to make a statement, to make a declarative sentence. We first put the subject and then the verb form. In the structures of the verbs, the subject has no role, but without the subject, we cannot proceed to make the sentence. The predicate is useless without the subject. The verb is a part of the predicate. It is the main part of the predicate, but we must place the subject first to make a declarative sentence. So I have put the subject in front of each structure. In the next video, I'll further elaborate, explain the chart, and discuss the other functions of the helping verbs. Thank you for watching. To get early notification of the latest videos, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell button. And if you think the lessons are helpful to young learners, please share the videos with them.